When I was in school, people were obsessed with who was or wasn't a virgin, and this one word was thrown around a lot: hymen. What is this mysterious membrane, and does it have anything to do with virginity? Hey there, boys and girls. Trace here for DNews. I taught sex ed in college, and I have to say, no matter how prepared people may be, our first time having sex inevitably has some level of uncertainty, no matter your age, orientation, identity, or sex. But virginity is a complicated topic. Some think there is a right or wrong way to lose your virginity, or that the experience will leave them physically or spiritually transformed, that they'll somehow be different after they lose their V-card. But more importantly, in a first-time sexual encounter, women often confront even more unanswered questions, like, can someone get pregnant on the first try? Will sex hurt? Will there be blood? Many, if not most, of the questions women have about virginity focus on the hymen. And that's because culturally, a woman's virginity is intrinsically tied to this mysterious membrane, which according to prevailing legend breaks and bleeds during first-time sexual intercourse. In the good old days, before scientists knew exactly what was going on during sex, many newlyweds were expected to hand over bloody bedsheets to their families after the wedding night to prove that the marriage was indeed consummated. This, of course, is super creepy and no longer a cultural norm, thank goodness, but the ideas that reinforced it continue to prevail. That is, a woman is a virgin until she pops her cherry. And that's why we're here to set the record straight. Hymens are a thin membrane inside the opening to a vagina. They are not sealed, so they cannot be popped open, and therefore are not scientifically tied to virginity. And this makes a lot of sense, because logically, if all women had a built-in dam in their vagina, how would anything, namely menstrual blood, get through? In reality, hymens are commonly shaped either as a ring or a crescent or half moon. Some are thicker and stiffer, some are thinner and more stretchy. Often, when a woman has sex for the first time, the membrane can stretch or tear, but more often than not, the hymen is already stretched from other types of purposeful or accidental penetration, like tampons, sex toys, masturbation, or even some forms of physical activity like horseback riding. This is why the absence or presence of the hymen membrane is in no way related to virginity. That being said, vaginal bleeding after first-time intercourse is normal, though it happens to fewer than half of all women. But again, it's not from a pop, but rather a tear in that membrane. This can occur when intercourse is too fast or too rough or from insufficient lubrication, and when it does happen, it's almost always just minor bleeding called spotting. Hymen myths aside, many women still complain that sex hurts the first time. According to Planned Parenthood, this occurs because no two people are alike, and thus neither are hymens. Some women have more of a hymen than others, and the best way to prevent initial pain is to manually stretch the membrane over time. Some studies have suggested, however, that this pain has little to do with the hymen and more to do with a woman's mental state. According to this idea, many women are culturally conditioned to expect first-time sex to hurt. This can cause some women to tense their muscles. Thus, the experience of intercourse will be unpleasant and sometimes painful. That being said, there are a number of other factors researchers say could also cause pain, like vaginal tightness, irritation from birth control, or in rare cases, local infections or diseases. At this point, we hope you understand that a hymen has nothing to do with virginity. So for women as well as men, or however you identify, what does it mean to be a virgin? There is no one answer, and scientifically no way to tell if someone is a virgin or not. Often it's social or cultural. For example, some people define sex as strictly as penis in vagina intercourse, but that excludes a lot of the sexually active population. Many in the LGBT community, for example, have never had vaginal intercourse, but do not think of themselves as virgins. Everyone has their own definition of virginity, and that is okay. The important thing to keep in mind is that there is no right way to lose it. Just be safe and stay lubricated. Stories about virginity and sex can be huge in our interpersonal interactions, but there's this great show on Discovery Life called Sex Sent Me to the ER. You can watch it right now on your phone or tablet by downloading Discovery Life Go. You can watch that and also a whole bunch of other Discovery Life shows. Check it out, there's a link in the description. So now that you know about virginity and hymens, why do we even have sex? Like, why do we do it? Well, we have a video all about that here. We're all evolving to combat other organisms' mutations, and by doing so, we stay in balance. Essentially, as parasites and predators evolve, the hosts and prey evolve to survive them, facilitating reproduction. Do you guys have other things that you want to know about your bodies that maybe you feel weird asking? You can tweet at us, you can find us on Facebook, you can send us a message and let us know. You can also tell us in the comments if you feel a little braver. You can also subscribe here on YouTube so you get more videos every day.